I have a speech impediment. I've had it forever. I can distinctly remember in 5th or 6th grade being hauled out of my regular classes into the hallway to sit at a table with Miss Prince. I think that's what her name was. She was a speech therapist, and we would run numbers and letters and words, I don't know, half an hour for an hour. Well, my other classmates got to stay in class. I got to be in the hallway trying to fix the way I speak. And over the years, I don't think it's gotten any better. I mean, it's always been a struggle for me. And I have a brother who had a similar situation as well. So it leads me to think it's something we inherited. I've even heard that it could possibly be related to some sort of epilepsy. I don't have seizures or anything, but it's a brain disconnect between here and here. And it's not really mumbling or slurring. It's hard to, hear that? It's hard to describe, but sometimes I have a difficulty enunciating my words, and that's the main issue. And my speed, I tend to speak very quickly. So what do I do after all these years? I decided to open a YouTube channel. It's an art channel. It's mainly about painting, like this stuff here, a lot of sci-fi art over here. But I also do a lot of writing, and I decided I was going to get back into writing, and I was going to write some little short stories, some little short plays, and try to perform them on my channel. And in doing that, I've come across the issue of my speech again. So if you follow my page, you'll see that I've been writing, I don't know, I'm on my 10th one or so, and each one it's a dual-edged sword. It's kind of a struggle, yet it helps me practice my speech. And it's interesting because I struggle with this, yet I enjoy doing it because I can see some definite improvement in my speech by going over this. Now, I have friends who were into theater in college, and one of my friends got me to take speech and articulation class at the university, which was nothing that I was into because I was going to for art. But I enjoyed the class because it helped me with exercises on how to figure out how to use my lips and tongues and how to slow down and how to do this correctly. But that was years and years and years ago. So I kind of lost all that and I didn't keep up with it. But now that I've been doing this, I have been really practicing quite a bit on slowing down and enunciating my words. And I've noticed a huge improvement in my speech. Yesterday, I wrote out a 5-page script. It's Star Trek fan fiction, which I enjoy doing. And I try to get through the script the best I can without stopping, which is impossible. No matter how much I practice, I have to stop and edit and chop certain sections out because I'll just be rattling along and I start speeding up. Then I'll just destroy a sentence or destroy a word or mumble something. And it's not the kind of thing that most people do, because when I have a train wreck, it's a train wreck. Now, when I speak like this, just to you to the camera, normally I don't have a problem. But as I'm reading along these scripts and I come to a section where I anticipate what's coming up and my brain almost goes in reverse and just stops me right there. And then I just crash that line. And I know it's going to happen before it happens. And that's very, very frustrating. But at the same time, it's kind of rewarding because it's happening less and less and less all the time. Now, I understand now what it means to be an actor. I'm not an actor. I don't claim to be an actor. I don't even want to be an actor. But I know what it means to run lines because I go over this 10, 15, 20 times out loud to myself before I even attempt to go on camera with this stuff. Hear that? Before I go on camera with this stuff, I need to slow down and enunciate my words. Very frustrating. But, I actually kind of enjoy this because I can tell, like, if I'm at work and I'm speaking to somebody, my enunciation and my speed is much better than it used to be. So this is actually improving. So if you are somebody who has difficulties like this, I don't know what kind of advice to give you because I don't know what condition I actually have. I just know it's some sort of a deal where my brain is not connecting to my jaw correctly all the time. I have to consciously think about slowing down, where most people probably don't have to. Most people just talk. I have to think about talking before I open my mouth. I have to think about enunciating and saying my consonants correctly, and not jamming my words together. It's a definite struggle for me. And if you're somebody out there who has a similar problem, let me know. I know my brother also has it. And so we had the same, whatever happened to me happened to him. And this is really ironic. My father was a radio DJ, and he was well known for his baritone voice. He enunciated fantastically. And he just had an incredible voice. And I was always really upset that I did not inherit that from him. I admire anyone with a good speaking voice. I really do. Now, I'm also a musician, and I'm a singer, kind of. And I do notice, who's that guy, Mel Tillis? He stuttered really bad. But when he sang, he never stuttered once. Well, I'm the same way. If I'm singing, I'm fine. I can just enunciate all day long. But if I'm talking to you, it's okay. But if I'm reading, forget it. Because I have to practice. And maybe most people do too, as well. But there's definitely a disconnect between what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking, and what I'm saying when it's written down. So it takes a lot of practice. And maybe most actors have that same problem. I don't know. I'm not an actor. But I do know that I was pulled out of class in 5th or 6th grade for a reason. And I don't recall back in those days what was going on, but I do recall sitting at that table out in the hallway while my other classmates were all taking class, and I was going 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D at a certain pace to slow me down and get me to enunciate. So if you can empathize with this, give me some comments, if this rings true with anybody, maybe I'll make some more videos. But I will say this, with practice, you can get better, definitely. I've been practicing, and it's been quite enjoyable. I enjoy what I do. I like, if you want to check me out, well, here's the deal. I tried those AI voices, where you talk into the computer and it emulates your voice, and you just type in what you want and it speaks for you. And I've noticed that when I do that, I enunciate perfectly. The only problem is that those things don't always get the inflections correctly. So if I'm excited, it'll talk flat. If I want to talk flat, it'll talk excited. So those things don't work perfectly. Even though it sounds like my voice, there's still glitches in it, and it's not perfect yet. But I still think that it's here we go again. I still think you should have some humanity in your speech, and I would rather do it this way than with the auto voices. What's it called? AI voices, because it's more human. Like my artwork here. I hate AI art. Absolutely hate it. I think it's theft, stealing, and this is not AI art, and that is not AI art. That came out of my brain. So that's what I want to talk about today. So thanks for listening.